Generic greetings and welcome to Construction Plus Prison Architect Alpha 28 episode 3. In the previous episode we did a lot of building, as you can see, put a lot of foundations in. So we've got our admin center on the bottom here, we've got storage, we'll have our staff room and security. I might switch them around. Canteen is all put in and actually working. The kitchen is the same. Then we've got our visitation, classroom and medical center, which I'll be building shortly. We've got a little bit of extra stuff, so it's things like Alcoholics Anonymous, which is technically just a common room, but you know it's a separate part for the purposes of this discussion. And then we've got the holding cell down the bottom there. I'll be building that in a moment just as well. Then we've got our very large cell block, which we shall be doing a little bit of work to this episode, but only enough to get some prisoners in. Then we've got some power block. We'll be building this bit here, which is our first workshop. I want to get workshop pretty much up from day one, and then we've got some other amenities around here. Nothing really to discuss there. Right, so in this episode we need to get money. As you can see, 10 grand, and I made a little bit of a mistake around here. I didn't really plan it correctly, or rather I planned it to what I thought was right, and then thought, yeah, that'll be fine, because I originally had people walking through this section. Then I realised that no, that's not the case. They're going to be walking through here. People did mention it in the comments, but you know, I just forgot about that. Can't remember everything and all that with the other changes that we did. So yeah, we had to change it a little bit. So a couple of grand wasted, but that's not too bad. It could have been worse. Right. What we're going to be doing is putting in the medical area over here. So I'm putting the walls in there. I've just realised that the concrete is the same price as the other stuff. It's just yeah, they're just expensive in general. So we're going to do the medical grant. I'm trying to get the grants done as fast as we can do it, because obviously that gives us some more money. So we need a medical ward, hire 2 doctors and hire a psychologist. We'll just go bureaucracy and check. We can get the health, yeah, we can get psychology, and we can get the doctors and we can get the psychologists, so that's fine. So we'll go to our rooms and then to office. We'll clicky draggy and make that an office. We'll go to our infirmary and make all of this an infirmary, and then we'll go to the morgue and make that a morgue. Obviously they're still putting the walls in there. So first things first, we'll do the psychologist. So we'll put his desk in the corner there, then we'll put a couple of filing cabinets. I'll put a filing cabinet there, chair in the corner. Then I want, obviously, a chair for the person to come in and sit down and have a little chat with the psychologist. There we are. Then we need to have a medical bed, at least one, for that to fulfill the need of it being infirmary, and then one morgue slab in the morgue for that to be sorted as well. So we need to hire 2 doctors and then a psychologist, and that will give us enough money to well, that'll give us another 10 grand. So, oh sorry, yeah, that's that one there. Excellent. Right. I'm just got to planning because that little bit there is annoying me. Okay, job done. We're also going to go down the bottom, and people mentioned, well, I mentioned in the last episode that this was originally going to be another set of tables and chairs and such, as you see here, but I decided that we're not going to bother with it. We're just going to have a fairly large open area where the people can congregate and fight or whatever, or spit in other people's porridge, and we'll have some phone booths there as well, so they can talk about it while they do that. Okay, so we need to go to our... what sort of door do we want to put on this one? I'm just going to check. This is going to be a holding cell, and it has to be behind a door, so that's fine. I'm just going to use a standard door, I think. Yeah, just a standard door will do fine. And then we're going to go to... do we want to put in that? Yeah, we'll put that in. Go to materials and then shove the concrete wall right at the back there. Now, you do need a toilet in this place, so I'm going to have a little bit of a additional bit at the side, a little bit of additional sort of enclosure, because that will allow us to put the toilets in, and that's just a little bit better. Then we'll go to our bench, and also it fits the bench in snugly at either side, which is something I wanted to do as well. And then we will leave it there. Now obviously there's no power up the top here. That's because the power for the top bit will come from that power plant there, but I haven't yet built it, so I'm going to have to do that later on. Speaking of power and utilities, I do need to run some utilities up either side of this place, like so, and then I want to... how far do we need to go? To about there. Then go a large pipe, and then run a large pipe straight down to about there, and then that will allow me to then section off everything and then join the pipes up to the centre from obviously the toilets and other stuff that'll be around. That's fine. Excellent. So we need to build a shower. Holding cell. Holding cell is getting... well, that's underway. We need to get 2 guards, 2 cooks, and then we need to get 2 doctors, psychologists. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it very easy for myself and go to staff and get a psychologist. Then I go to doctor, and we'll hire 2 doctors. There we go. And then I'm afraid I'm going to sack both doctors. There we go. Now, the psychologist, how much are they per day? They are 200 per day, which means I should only really need him. Well, if I sack him now, it's going to be 5 days before it's worth it. So I think I'll have prisoners before then. I will have prisoners before then anyway, but I don't need the doctors because these are going to be low-risk prisoners, so the chance of them fighting are slim to none. Although, to be fair, I haven't had low-risk prisoners since the sort of last update. So, it's probably about 2 or 3... Probably 2 or 3 episodes, actually. Or a series, in fact. I haven't had low-risk prisoners, so... Yeah, maybe they are very, very violent. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know why, but the game just looks a lot crisper. I don't know if it's me being more attentive or anything, but it just seems a bit... I don't know, it just seems crisp. Something about it. Maybe it's the walls because they are quite, you know, spartan. They're not like a lot of... They're not like a lot of colours and a lot of... There's not a lot of noise in it. I think it might be that. It might be that. Anyway, so... 13,000, not bad. We've got a staff well-being initiative, have at least 5 guards without assigned duties, and build a staff room, so we might as well get on with the old staff room one. I think we will go to rooms first, and we will shove down our staff room. So where do I want to have it there? Originally, this was the staff room, but I don't think we need... I'd rather have a bigger security room, just because we might need more space. So we'll have the staff room down the bottom there, go to objects, and then we'll fill this up with... actually, that was the staff room because I could fit a certain amount of things in. Doesn't really matter. We'll put the sofas in. How do I want this? Sofa there. Sofa there. How do I want this? Put 2 sofas either side. And then drinks machines when you could walk across. I'm not going to build any more because... otherwise it costs more and you don't really need it. I will obviously finish furnishing it, but it's a very basic one at the moment. Right, so let us go to materials. Concrete wall. And then we'll build this bit at the back. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to build these cells on either side. Now this has spent a bit of money here, so we'll have to be careful. And that's the only cells I'm going to build for the time being. Excellent. Right. The yard, as you can see, is not morning. It is not saying it is not enclosed, which means this is a fully secure facility. I say fully secure. It's only got a fence. You can pretty much hop over the bloody thing. But yes, it is technically surrounded by, you know, doors and walls and such. So that is okay. I'm just going to utilities here. I'm going to go to small pipe, and I think I will run a small pipe right up to that one, okay, and then run it along to there. Do you want to do that? That should technically have this all sort of plumbed in then. There we go. Right, and then they'll get on with that. We'll speed up to max speed and they can crack on. Oh, lovely. Today's beverage is milk. Plain and simple milk. Not milkshake, not milk additive, not milk with lava lamp fluid in it. No, just milk. Right, a cow's milk, obviously. Okay, so, well, at least I think it's from a cow. I have no idea. It didn't say on the bottle. It just said milk. Maybe on the back it said from cows, but look on the back. From badgers. Okay, won't be drinking that. Anyway, we need to... Do we need to put the extra little doors on the deliveries? Originally, I had sort of additional little... Well, the idea was to put doors right across here. The actual large road... I think road gates I was going to use, wasn't I? I was going to use road gates like that. Oh. They're not actually the right size anyway. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I measured that. Obviously I've measured it wrong, but nobody saw it in the comments. Nobody mentioned it in the comments, not that I could see. So looks like that's answered it for me. We won't be putting the extra doors on there, which is actually something that I don't really care about, because if I'm honest with you, if I'm totally honest, having the big doors on there requires you to either have an automatic door opener or a guard come and open it, so it means that the other staff couldn't open doors, which is massive pain anyway. So let's put deliveries in. So we'll just have it like that, and we don't really need to bother with it because it's sort of secure anyway. Okay, it is eat time apparently, according to our regime on the top right there. Oh, you can click on that and go to the regime. I did not know that. I don't know if that's an addition, but you can do that now. Grants, we can get some more grants. So we got short-term investment. Might as well put that in the queue. It only takes 71 hours, a couple of days. 3 days is that? So like that. Easy, right? So we can get on with that. So we need a couple of guards, 5 guards in fact, and then we will be able to get some prisoners. Or can we get some prisoners? We could, but we need to get this put in. This is where we've got a shower. So we'll just go to our rooms, shower, put the shower in. While we're here, might as well go to cell, put the cells in, and then we'll go to objects, shower heads, run some shower heads along there, run some shower heads along there. Do we need a bench? We could put benches in, but I'm not, because they cost a bit of money. So I'd rather not. I would rather not. Okay, so, actually on day 4 there, we've been playing for 52 minutes, apparently. How can that be wrong? I'm sure the episodes have ran longer than that anyway. Weird. Right, okay, not in one go, you understand. I haven't run that in one go. That's, this is like the 3rd time loading. For 3rd time? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3rd time. Okay, so cells are in there. Obviously, we need to put jail doors on that, but I don't even know if I'm going to build jail doors or jails. Sorry, cell doors or cells right at the start, because that requires money, and I could just put them in the holding cell, and then once I've got the money, we can extend that over. Let us go to reports to our prisoners and open up our low risk intake, and we're going to receive 8 prisoners in the next 12 hours. Okay, so they can go along there. Now, I could get some other grants. So 2 guards, 2 cooks. Obviously, I'll need that. That'll get that basic detention centre done. Staff well-being will also be done, but I'm waiting. And the reason I'm waiting is because I don't want to pay people at 12 o'clock. I think that's how it works. People have mentioned to me a couple of times that it's, you know, the wages come out, but I don't know whether it still comes out. It used to come out on the tick of 12. See, that says just cash flow. But people it used to be on the tick of 12, staff would be paid. So if you bought them after, like if I bought them now, they'd just be sitting around. Although I'd get them grants done, I'd then spend maybe 500, maybe 1,000 on staff wages. So I don't know. I don't actually know what happens. So I'm going to wait. See, the cash flow, we're getting money coming in here. I don't know if the money goes out for wages at 12. I'm actually waiting to see what happens with that. What else do we need to build? Well, we've got the holding cell. We've got that over there. We do need to put some more power in that corner. We also need to put this building in here. The priorities are probably getting... Well, we need to do the regime. We need to alter the regime, but we can get on with that later. I think it will be... Metal detectors there. That's priority. Real priority. And then probably don't go areas which we haven't unlocked. Deployment. And I haven't got a security. I haven't got a chief either. And doesn't look like... Nope. Doesn't look like we paid them at 12 o'clock. Okay, staff. Let's do it. Guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10 grand. Cook. 1, 2. There we go. We're actually going to get... I don't think I need any more than that. That should do us. Right. Chief. There's the chief. Objects. Office desk. I haven't even placed the office yet, but I'm jumping the gun a bit here because we've got not a lot of time to get this sorted. Normally we don't get episodes till sort of episode 4 or 5, but we're jumping it a little bit. We're jumping on it earlier here. There we go. There's an office. Job done. We'll just go to our bureaucracy. We're blasting through this deployment first, and then what else do we need? I don't think we need anything else. We do need prison labour. We also need cleaning and other stuff from the maintenance guy. Which we haven't yet got, so we'll get on with that. We'll go to our rooms once more. We'll go to office, clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy over the office there, and then back to our objects. The office desk, it seems like you wouldn't really be worried too much about this thing. Actually, I like the idea of having like a row of filing cabinets there, with it being the foreman and such. Something like that. Don't know why. Ah, just put the chair in the corner like that. Job done. Right, and then we need to hire a foreman. There's the foreman. That's now his office. So we're now actually getting. I've got minus cash flow now, and we need to go to objects, metal detector, and put the metal detector straight in. And then we need to run some power to that, obviously. So we'll run it. Where are we going to run it? I guess it'll be along and down. What's the best way? And just down to there. That'll do it. Right. And that'll be the metal detector put in. And then when we've got deployment, we can then make that staff only. A lot of this stuff staff only, in fact. Right, just pausing it for a moment while I go to my regime. I'm going to alter the regime. So you can see it's got a lot of lockup on there. It's only going to be a standard regime for the most part, apart from a lot of work. We're going to have a lot of work time in here. So we come up 6 o'clock. Actually, no, we don't need that amount of sleep. That's probably too much sleep. We'll shower at 6. And we've got 2 hours of free, or an hour of free, I think. We're going to have this, let's say, very heavily working. So we'll change it all to free because it's just a general, which you can click and drag. There we go. We'll do all that. And then we can have a bit of eat time there. I don't want 2 hours of free. Don't know. 2 hours of free. And then eat time there. I think that will do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours there. So sleep up until 5, 6 o'clock shower, 1 hour of free time after that, 2 hours of eat, and then we've got a couple of hours of free time before, big session of work, then you got back to your free time, eat, and then a little bit of free time before you sleep again. I think that's a fine regime. That's not too bad at all. Right. Max speed this out. Or do we want to alter that so we have dinner right in the middle? See, we could have, if we wanted to, the prisoners working in the kitchen, in the canteen. I think we're going to do that. Let's because I'm sick of this regime. We always do the same regime. Let's change this, okay? Let's have eat time at, say, 2 till 3, okay? And we'll have work time like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of work, then 2 hours of eat, and then actually if I move the eat back like that, will that be about right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of work, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of work, and then a lot of free time at the end. Not liking that. No, because we haven't got enough free time. I think that might do. See, I want work there because then I can get the prisoners to work in the kitchen, do the eat, and then work after so they can even clean up. And then you've got a fairly big hours, no, a fairly lot of free time at the end. I don't know if that's going to work, that one, but we will see. Either way, I need to go to my, not programs, policy actually. But I don't have prison policy, so I can't change how much food they're going to get. Oh dear, oh dear. Let's start unlocking that then. We also need to probably go, that's micromanagement. Don't really need to micromanage anything at the moment. Research prison labour with the maintenance guy, and then we'll speed it up. Actually, we'll turn back. we'll put the time back on. We have the power to suspend time. Right, 12 grand left. So foundations, concrete building. Top left here, staff door, straight on. Then we're going to plumb that in, and then we'll connect all this up. Right, so here we go. Prisoners. Receiving our first batch of prisoners. Guff, Ragsdale, we've got Paul Chappell, Stephen Platter, Duncan Headland, Paul Nobati, Adam Keevil, Robert Kotick, and finally, autosave, Robert Sushata, something like that. Shrubby Barrel 8. That's an easy one, isn't it? That's the Devil. Okay, that's bad. Gus. Any of these funky? I don't know because I don't have an intelligence system yet. Right, I'm gonna have to force these doors open manually, aren't I? Because yeah, it just you can't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to force the doors open manually because they're all. I've just realised that this big thing through the centre is pointless because they're never gonna take them through it because they come at deliveries. Oh, for arg, arg. Okay then, fine. Thanks, game. Thanks. You're. Oh dear, oh dear. So we got this nice metal detector, but no, we're not going to bother with that. To be fair, that's my fault. I should have put the metal detector there. So if I dismantle both of these metal detectors, actually no, we don't need to dismantle them there because what I'll do is I'll probably block this deliveries off and make it staff only. But this bit here, I think this bit here will have automatic door opening, and we'll still need the metal detectors there for when the visitors come in. I don't even know if they set them off. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll have them, maybe we won't. We'll see. So we'll put metal detector there, and then they can get on with that. Right, so we've got all the prisoners sitting around in there. Obviously, it's currently work time, so they've got nothing else to do, really, to be honest with you. We're going to go over to this large jail door. We're going to force that open. I'm going to force that open as well. And I think we will do that a lot on this one. Force that open. Force all these doors open here. And that's a light I'm clicking on. And I really despise it when there's a light over a door. So I'm going to dismantle that because it is infuriating. There we go. And obviously these are now requiring power, so I will have to connect them up like so. That should be fine. Okay. Look how dirty that place is. That's filthy. Dirty rooms, dirty. Okay. This area up the top's done, so we've got utilities. Power station. 5 grand, I know. It's a lot of money. We're only receiving 3 grand. Sorry, $3 a day. Wow. $3 a day. Not a lot, is it? That power station will be able to power the rest of this. Looks like they're coming in. And they're actually eating as well. Right. Not bad. 8 functions. And we have prisoners. I think we will leave it there. What we will do next episode is get the cells up and running. Get more prisoners in. I'm going to keep the intake open now because they can just sit in the holding cell. And we need to get a lot of other things up and running. We've got a lot of grants we can get. So we've got cell block A, I'll get that. Prison maintenance, we'll get that. And then we'll get visitation rights. But look, we've got 36 grand now. So more than enough to get on with this. But yes, overall, so far it is working. But next episode, I think I do think the main thing we need is the workshop. Get them in that workshop. Get them actually doing something. Get them making money. I think that's what we'll do. As always, comment in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings.